This is a Hat Trick
podcast.
Oh, lovely.
Welcome to In the News This Week, the podcast from some of the team who've worked on Have I Got News For You?
I'm Emerald Paston.
I'm Mike Rayment.
I'm Queenie Miller.
And I'm Jack Harris.
We'll be taking you through the big and not so big stories in the news this week when the TV show can't.
Think of it like this. If the main show is a team of lionesses, then we're a bunch of cubs.
So
Cubs.
What? Emerald?
Cubs.
Didn't expect this from you so early into the show.
Yeah.
Emerald doesn't realise that we're actually recording, because as soon as that microphone starts recording,
Yeah.
she's effing and jeffing.
Silk cut in her mouth.
Like she's down in some kind of dockyard, yeah.
Absolute potty. You guys watch the football?
I did.
I didn't. But we've learnt from this podcast I'm not a big football fan.
That's fair.
I feel like it takes so long and nothing happens. They might as well go straight to penalties.
This was the game to have that feeling, I think.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. I don't think, like, England didn't take a shot on goal from like the 68th minute or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm in the States at the moment, so I watched it in a bar in New York with lots of mainly English people, a couple of Spanish, but not many. Next to a baby. Basically stayed awake for the entire game until the penalties happened.
Oh, no.
And managed to stay asleep for the whole of the penalties.
Brilliant.
Just
Are we
like
sorry,
people shouting.
we talking about the baby or you?
Oh man, what I'd give to be able to just like sleep in a bar
Just not
surrounded
like
by
that.
people.
Emerald, you'll appreciate this. The best thing about teams winning stuff is all the players go and get absolutely wasted, have no sleep, and then have to do like duties the next day. So they've like come back to England and had to do like an open top bar, go to Downing Street, and they're all clearly just absolutely wrecked. At best hungover, at worst still drunk. And basically there's like this like parade outside Buckingham Palace, and they were like talking to the players, and they're like going, "Oh, isn't it wonderful? Look at all these. There's a whole generation of girls out there have come to me. Oh yeah, we fucking won!" like Alex Scott going, "Oh, sorry if you're watching at home."
Oh, God.
I also liked Labour's response to it, where like classic, like all of the journalists are ready, raring to go. As soon as England win, they're like, "So you're going to give us a bank holiday like you said when you were in opposition?"
Yeah.
You know, and they make this joke like, "Whoa, if we gave a bank holiday every time they won, no one would be bloody working." And you think, nah, you just realise that it costs a load of money. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like the business secretary, Jonathan Reynolds, who had to come in and he was like, "Don't make me the fun police, but they actually cost a few £billion to the economy to have a bank holiday." And you're like,
Wow.
That's the best response to the Lionesses win, I think, is to be like, "I don't want to be the fun police, but technically, if we are policing fun."
That's pretty much Labour's MO though, isn't it? We're the fun police. Every time they announce something, they should just start it with, technically.
Yeah, you can hear the sound of them pushing the glasses onto the bridge of their nose.
Yeah. I don't want to be the fun police, but actually, I've always wanted to be the fun police.
Yeah. Technically, the fun police wouldn't actually work as a organisation because in terms of quantifying
How do you measure fun? Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
There's no ruler for fun.
What are we talking in terms of units? Are we talking numbers of laughs, laughter bouts? Is it number of people laughing? Is it the octave? Is it the decibel of laugh we're going for?
Wow.
Now I've become interested, actually.
Yeah, Jack,
I've started
this sounds like the
making
job
a joke
for you.
about it. And I'm now like, how would you become the fun police?
I just felt myself glazing over, and I thought, this is how Emerald feels watching football.
Yes, it is.
That was that baby in the penalty
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I am that baby. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's no Queenie this week. She sends her apologies, but, and I quote, "She's up at the Edinburgh Fringe producing Liz Truss's comedy show, and it's very hard work." So if it's anything like her time as a PM, though, Queenie will be home early and back with us next week. So we have that to look forward to.
Are we saying the show is hard work, as in to watch, or the actual producing of the show would be hard work? I think both would be pretty tough.
I think both.
Or are we saying Queenie's hard work?
It's the meeting of two hard work minds.
Should we just go for the holy trinity of hard work?
I feel like somewhere, in Edinburgh, she heard me say that and just turned around towards England and just gave me a death stare.
She's just thrown whatever kebab she's got in her hand in your general direction, Mike.
That wouldn't be the first time.
But why don't we get into round one and the big story this week, which I think is probably Donald Trump's private trip to Scotland. And like every good private trip, Trump announced a trade deal with the EU, held a press conference with the Prime Minister, and opened a whole new golf course. So, Mike, how did his meeting with Keir Starmer go?
It was a car crash from start to finish. It started controversially. Starmer, I don't know if you saw it, Starmer was 30 minutes late and kept the Donald waiting, which I imagine is a bad idea. They said it was because he was travelling from the Euros. But I just think he arrived round the back of the hotel and had to be coaxed out the car. He's like, I don't want to go. I don't have to be friendly.
It is funny because loads of the behaviour of Trump on this trip was very like childlike. There's loads of bits.
This trip? Every single trip.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But there were bits that like made me laugh, like when he was in with von der Leyen, he's going to do that EU deal. All the journalists were like, how are you feeling, And he was like, I'm actually in a very bad mood. And it's like the very, tells them how he's feeling like that.
Yeah.
You think it's like a toddler. It's like you go and say, oh, hey, how are you doing, Donald? He's like, I'm not happy.
Hungry.
Unfiltered, basically.
Yeah, gave me carrots instead of chips. On the EU trade deal, though, did you see what the Spanish Prime Minister said?
I didn't know.
Pedro Sanchez. Because I think basically, rather than a trade deal, I think Trump just told them it was happening. The Spanish PM said, I support it without any enthusiasm.
Oh, wow. That's a great phrase.
I'm going to use it.
I support it
Without any.
Yeah, that's going to come in really handy, actually.
I agree.
When I don't get to have takeaway for dinner or something.
The Spanish, he tries to needle Trump, doesn't he? He's the Trump antagonizer relative to all the other Europeans who are now kind of like trying to be his pals. And there was a really good article about the kind of insight of like Trump speaking to European leaders on the phone. And how it was an anonymous source, but they said that Macron and Trump spoke to each other, and it was like a kind of like a WhatsApp style thing.
No way.
Where Trump gets on and goes, Emmanuel.
Oh my God.
And,
is that just him trying to speak French? I feel
maybe, he's doing that.
Just
but then
an accent.
Macron responds by doing Donald, and they
God.
like in this like very serious political website, they kind of pointed out that they extend this out at the end.
That reminds me of, do you remember there was that story in the papers a few years ago when Dominic Raab was in government and civil servants got bored, so they started playing this game where they'd see how many A's they could put into Raab on documents without him noticing. So they'd be like, Raab.
But again, it kind of comes down to the Starmer thing. Like, again, there was like a Starmer. We should all speak to each other like that now. Whenever we get onto the podcast. But about Starmer considering taking up golf. Like, because it was a way to potentially get closer to Donald Trump. Because that's why he was such good friends with the Japanese Prime Minister, Shinzo Abe, right?
Yeah.
Keir also said that he'd invite Trump to a football ground so that they could trade sports next time.
What could possibly go wrong? A crowd of 50,000 drunk people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, imagine, I like the idea that it's like actually a proper switch. So, you turn up to North London for a five-a-side match. And next to Keir Starmer is Donald Trump pulling on a bright orange bib that matches his skin colour, so he becomes sort of camouflaged.
You couldn't do bibs versus skins because he'd be both.
You're like, come on, look, this isn't fair. You can't tell. What team is he on?
The whole thing, though, to me was like Starmer just, given that it's his country and he's the Prime Minister, he just sort of followed Trump around like the air of, it reminded me of one of those like North Korean hostage videos where he's like thinking about everything he says because he knows he's going to get his testicles hooked up to a car battery. It's like, this is your country.
One of the papers I saw, I think it was The Guardian, it said Keir Starmer was mostly there as a stage prop, which I think is a pretty good description.
It's that thing of like,
Wow.
he sort of says about London, talk about Sadiq Khan. He says, oh yeah, he's a nasty guy and he's not done a great job. And Starmer just sits there and instead just goes, he's my friend actually. And then just doesn't do anything else to defend him. And they just continue to lay into him. But the thing that's kind of odd is that like, it kind of does seem to work by just sort of sitting there and taking it,
I suppose the one good thing that's come out of it, it feels like there's some sort of movement to resolve things in Gaza, which can only be sort of good. I always feel with Trump, he never does anything where he's not getting something out of it.
Yeah.
And he's just a peace-loving guy who ends wars. He's how many was it? 6 wars he's ended.
I think people have been trying to work out which ones he's talking about because it doesn't quite add up.
I think he should only be allowed to claim them if he can point on a map where they are.
Basically, it'll have to be an American Civil War, and even then, it's touch and go as to whether or not he'll be able to work that out. So
Starmer's recognising Palestine. Trump can't even recognise North America.
So we were talking about golf, and reporters did get a chance to see Trump playing a round of golf. So Jack, I assume he played golf like everything else he does in his life in a totally fine, normal, above board way. Is that right?
yeah,
Leading the witness.
Objection. That video, I don't know, we would have shown it on the show, definitely, of like Trump coming along in his golf cart and his caddy just kind of getting there and just casually throwing a ball down, which kind of went viral. And I quite liked a lot of people defending him, saying, hey, this is the way that people play if they're playing quickly. You know, you don't take the time to find your ball or, you know, play the ball that you hit from the start. That's just the way you go. And, you know, you can imagine playing with a friend and just being like, we need to hurry this up. So I'm just going to drop the ball right next to it. Yeah, I'm just going to throw it. Should I just throw it?
Also, given that 90% of his time is spent playing golf,
yeah,
it's a really poor excuse.
We need to hurry this round because I'm about to go to another round of golf. So
yeah.
Is he basically playing it like hockey? Is he basically like just pushing the ball along the whole way as he walks with his stick? I can imagine.
There was a video of him where he's basically doing that into the hole. Yeah.
Oh wow!
But I think I think he must have been playing more crazy golf than golf because he kept on talking about wanting to stop the windmills.
Oh my God, he's obsessed with windmills at the moment.
I think he had a bad time on that last course, and when he was down at jungle golf or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Obsessed with wind power.
I saw he said when we go to Aberdeen, you'll see some of the ugliest windmills you've ever seen. They're the height of a 50-story building. I mean, okay, I am in Scotland at the moment, so I don't want to be too mean, but has he seen some of the buildings there?
Oh, Emerald.
Oh, wow.
Firstly, comes out swearing at the start.
Yeah.
Right. Calling us. We didn't pick up on this, Mike.
I didn't
collectively
say that.
calling us the C word.
You did call us a C word.
A C word, yes.
And then insulting Scotland.
Yeah. The country of my birth.
I know, sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
Trump said he didn't know much about UK politics, but when he was talking about Starmer and Farage, he did work out one is slightly liberal, not that liberal, slightly, and the other one is slightly conservative.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not saying who is who, but at least he's got the gist of it. Mike, do you think Farage was sad to be left out of the golf course invite list?
Yeah. I think it's funny, isn't it? No Farage. He can fly out to America to cheer on Trump.
Yeah.
Then Trump comes to the UK and there's no invite. Sort of looking at his phone going, who dis? Also weird, like Trump basically saying Starmer needed to be more like Farage. He needed to out Farage, which was quite depressing because it is sort of what they're doing already, isn't it?
Yeah, that seems to be the style they go for. So
also a slightly odd thing to say to someone who has won an election over Farage, you know?
Yeah. I think, though, the thing is, Farage, in all honesty, he's too busy being outraged that the porn's been turned off.
what a better way to tell yourself when you've typed in big busty women?
Yeah.
Sorry, big busty British women.co.uk.
Oh, God.
Not that I know that website. I don't know anything about it. You know, I would say maybe the user interface could be better, but other than that, I've heard.
Jack supports porn, but without any enthusiasm. As you could just apply it to everything.
You really can.
It's just the best.
I quite like the Labour have turned the screw a little bit to try and wind him up even more. I know people are a bit annoyed about it, but it doesn't look all that great to say you want to repeal something without a plan that's going to protect kids from online harm.
So this is the Online Safety Act, which means that you have to show ID to access certain websites, including porn websites, because they want to check you're the right age.
Yeah, I think the problem with it is, yes, those kind of websites like the porn websites or Jack's Big Busty Babes website,
Big
whatever.
busty British women, Mike, thank you.
Sorry, yeah, we're really going all out for that sponsorship.
Yeah, wait until they pay us, Jack, before we mention them as much.
I mean, stuff like that should be regulated and you don't want kids looking at it, and it's better if people don't look at it. But what they've not done is they've not tackled the big issue, which is social media websites.
Yeah.
But you're not having to enter your age to go on Instagram. You're not having to enter your age to go on. So I think while Farage's aim of this is guided, and obviously he just wants to have a go at Labour and talk about, libertarian sort of freedoms. Labour have basically shied away from the real issue, which is social media sort of rotting people's brains and ruining kids' lives.
Did you see the protesters who held up those signs that said "Don't trust Starmer"? And they said Starmer is a wanker, and it said Starmer is an asshole, which again, very odd, kind of like, I don't know if they were trying to speak Trump, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
and then JD Vance put down the sign and walked into the back of the hotel.
did any of you guys see the thing about the music that he was playing when he was playing golf? Trump.
Was it YMCA on repeat?
I'm sure it was part of the playlist, but the one that a lot of people picked up on was he was playing Memory from the musical Cats.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's funny because it's an old cat, isn't it? The song itself is about an old cat who's basically being outcast and used to live a glamorous life, which, a bit too close to home. But it linked to, I don't know if we've ever talked about this on the podcast, but about the White House Music Man. We ever talked about this?
No.
It's in a memoir from a White House press secretary or like in the press somehow. And supposedly in Trump's first administration, if he ever got like really angry and he looked like he was about to flip out, they'd call for the music man.
No.
And it was one of the aides who had an iPad, and he would come in and just play the music, which again feeds into this kind of like
massive
child,
toddler.
Massive toddler. Well, it's like, get the iPad, where's the music man? And
Yeah,
one of the
Mr.
songs was Memory from Cats that he would
way.
hear, and he'd sort of suck his thumb and they'd tuck him in and he'd start to go to sleep.
Yeah, he'd take his hand off the nuclear button.
I love the idea that you've gone to university, you've done your political degree, you've worked for a lobbying firm, you've done all this stuff to get there. And then you step into the White House and your mum sends you a text and says, I can't believe one of the proudest days of our families. And someone hands you an iPad. You say, what's this for? And it's like, you are now the music man.
Play Baby Shark now. Welcome back to In the News This Week. It's time for round 2 now, where we've each brought a story from the past week that we think would be perfect for round 2 of the TV show. So, Jack, what story have you got for us this week?
Well, this is a New Zealand pet that has become, not my words, a one-cat crime wave, right?
Whoa.
So this is 15-month-old Leo, who in the last 9 months has stolen about 150 items from neighbours.
Wow.
And it's just basically clothes. Essentially, the owner says he doesn't do anything with them. He just dumps them on the floor and goes about his business. But of the items that it's stolen, mainly underwear and socks, including silk boxer shorts, but also gardening gloves, activewear, hats, sports bras, shorts, sports jerseys, new clothes with tags on. It bought a £145 cashmere sweater.
All in its owner's size.
Yeah.
Very mysterious.
Well, with the cashmere sweater, the owner was genuinely like, I did consider keeping this. But the daughter phoned her up when that arrived and said, it's bad, this is the worst thing he's brought in, it's really bad. Which I think if you get that phone call, you're thinking, has he brought in like a decapitated head or something like that? Actually, it's just a cashmere sweater, which wasn't that bad. His actions have got him a special name in the neighbourhood. One that's not broadcastable, obviously.
What?
A bit up Emerald Street then.
Yeah, it's a cub. It's being described as a cub.
No.
A stealing cub.
His name is Leo.
Yeah.
And it's been given a special name. It's been dubbed something. Can anyone have a guess what that is? Think of famous Leos.
I was thinking Leonardo DiCaprio.
See, I think it should potentially be called Leonardo DiCaprio because it has a real particular interest in new things and not older stuff. But that's not his name.
Leonardo da Pinching.
Oh, very good.
Leonardo da Pinci.
Da Pinci. Yeah.
Is it actually there?
Yeah,
Is it actually?
Oh, is it? Oh, well done, Mike.
It is called Leonardo da Vinci, which I didn't know whether I read that, whether I wanted to laugh or cry. They've had to set up a neighbourhood WhatsApp group to return items. The usual message basically being, are these your undies, apparently? Just constantly asking those things.
Are we definitely sure it's not the owner?
Yeah, right. How has the owner tried to stop the cat's kleptomania, do you think?
Had it neutered?
Not as bruised as that.
It would lose its self-esteem, be a little bit embarrassed. It wouldn't have the confidence. Wouldn't have the literally wouldn't have the balls. Is it butter on the paws? Have they buttered it?
They have not buttered the cat, Mike.
That's what you do. No, don't start making out like I'm some kind of crazy guy here.
What?
Everyone knows that's what you do with cats. If you move house, you butter your cat.
What? Are you being serious?
No, genuinely serious. So if you move house, like cats obviously know their house. If you move house, it doesn't know the house, and it gets skittish, and it all like bolt. So if you spread butter on each of its paws, as soon as it lands, it won't go anywhere while it's got dirty paws. So it'll sit down and clean its paws, and at that point, it's calmed down.
But how often do you have to butter its claws?
I don't know. Maybe you need a second buttering if you've got a particularly nervous cat.
If that's true, and it does make cats stay in place, I do support it, but with no enthusiasm whatsoever.
No enthusiasm for cat buttering.
No, this made-up thing you've just told us about.
Absolutely not made up.
Yeah. Do you know how you keep dogs? You jam dogs as well.
You're disgusting.
If you...
Let's
get back to the question I asked Mike before Mike took us on some weird, made-up...
Not weird. Like,
tangent.
honestly, people are going to be writing in going, I've buttered my cat. I've been buttering my cat for years.
I don't know if I want to
God.
speak to those people, Mike.
Neither.
The owner leaves out clothes at home for the cat to steal.
Oh, that's clever. It's like galvanizing,
Yeah.
sacrificial clothes.
But the cat isn't interested. Thieves only do
Not
it for the
interested.
thrill.
Yeah.
So, if it's too easy, not interested.
So this cat has a sense of ownership.
It knows what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
And it likes it wrong.
Just like buttering a cat is wrong.
It works.
I like the end of the article, which was like, other than that, you sort of think Leo must be a nice pet to have, you'd imagine. It says, no, he attacks everything, bites you and wakes you up in the middle of the night. So
Oh no.
I just sort of think...
Butter that cat right now.
Yeah.
Butter
I can't believe it's not buttered.
Thank you, Jack, for that lovely story.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Next up, it's time for my story. So for my round two story.
You have a story.
I have a story.
Oh,
Nice.
I'm ready for you. So this is a story about a New York law firm, and they have fired a recent summer intern of theirs because she kept biting her colleagues.
Was she a cat burglar from New Zealand?
Did they try buttering her before getting rid of her?
I'm sure they did.
Okay.
So, yeah, apparently a summer associate at Sidley Austin has been let go because she kept biting her colleagues. Apparently the biting began from her first day, and that her office mate started wearing long sleeve shirts to the office because she kept getting bit. And apparently she kept going for quite a long time before she was let go.
So she just as in playfully biting, or kind of like...
Yeah, so another insider said it wasn't an aggressive kind of bite, but it was more of a faux quirky manic pixie dream girl bite. I don't know which is
Sorry.
what.
Yeah.
Isn't that what one of Bob Geldof's children, manic faux pixie bite?
Yeah, apparently they kept her on for quite a while because she's otherwise personable. Which, I mean, fair enough.
How bad were the other people they interviewed?
Well, this is what I'm thinking. I kind of get it because I feel like if you're like a young woman in this, maybe a macho law firm, they're all getting drunk. Like maybe you don't know where the boundaries are. Maybe you might end up biting people. Maybe.
Maybe she's... Oh, that's it. Maybe she's come in and been like, I'm going to assert my dominance. That's it.
Yes.
And that's the way to make it dog eat dog in this world.
Yeah.
Literally. And I'm going to go and, people will remember me.
Emerald, I mean this with the greatest of respects, but I wouldn't want you to defend me legally if that was your...
Was it all the maybes that I said?
Yeah, the maybe. Maybe.
But have you guys ever done anything this bad in your workplace? Jack?
Have I ever been fired for biting people?
He should have been. We got away with it.
Yeah, right.
What's your worst intern story or worst work experience story?
My first job in TV was making tea. I was a day runner on the X Factor, and I got picked to make tea for Simon Cowell, and I had to sit on the floor at the back of the auditorium. They wouldn't even let me sit in a seat in case I got in shot. And and I had a kettle and a mug and like tea bags. And then he just, without turning around to look at, he just raised his hand and sort of waved his fingers a little bit like the Queen. And that was a sign that he wanted the tea. And I had to just watch that. And I'd make him tea and take it up to him. And he had a runner. I wasn't even allowed to hand it to him, who'd hand him the tea.
Because they knew that he'd bite him, mate. That's why.
Yeah, and he rejected all my tea. And I thought, oh, there goes my career in TV.
He rejected your tea. What was the feedback?
Just general, not right. Just too strong, not strong enough.
No talent.
Yeah, too much saliva. Just all the usual things.
In my first job, when I was moving from intern to job, I was leaning and chatting in the kitchen, obviously not making teas, and I leaned with my fingers in the hinge of the door, and then someone shut the door on my fingers.
Oh man.
So then I spent the whole day in like urgent care wondering if I'd like broken my fingers and watching my nails come off. So that was my first day.
Oh my God.
I once had a job where I had to go and get the wood to build Adam Buxton's desk for one of his live shows. And they just gave me all the measurements and I had to go off to a wood factory. I don't know.
Wow.
I was so out of my
forest.
depth. Holy shit, I didn't know what I was doing. I was there. I had to learn to fell a tree.
And you saw this big one next to a wall and it was like so beautiful. There wasn't any trees around there. When you were working in Northumberland.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what though, made a great desk.
And finally, Mike, what have you got for us this week?
It's the big question that everyone's talking about. I can't believe we haven't covered it in round one. From the streets to the tabloids to even the Financial Times. The headline, has the UK hit peak Greggs?
Oh no.
Mate, I did see this on the front of the Financial Times today.
It was in the yeah, exactly.
Front of the Financial Times.
The front of the Financial Times. So this is Greggs, who recently hit the milestone of, do you know how many sausage rolls they sell a day?
No.
In Britain.
Oh, okay. Don't tell me.
2 million?
Let's say how many.
That's too much. Sorry.
I think 2 million is solid. I think 2 million is solid.
No,
I think 2 million is solid because
yeah, go on. What's your maths?
a million. Only because I've heard you say a million. So.
That's cheating.
They've just hit 1 million, which is astonishing. But every day,
wild.
1 million sausage rolls.
There's 70 million people in the UK, right? So 1 in 70 people has a Greggs sausage roll, and that's including children.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing.
And vegans. So they've hit this milestone, but they've also, in the same time, they've just started reporting lower profits and footfall. This is so mental that this is in the Financial Times. Investment broker Russ Mould told The Guardian that the lack of information on current trading has left investors wondering if the business has become as stale as a one-day-old Belgian bun.
Oh, they love it. I bet they're so excited when this story came out, weren't they?
I know. It's the sort of story we would do on the show, because you do get these stories about brands. Normally, I think this one genuinely isn't started by Greggs, because it's basically going they're in financial trouble because of cost of living and everything. But normally we cover them on the show where they've like planted the story, and it's always so much fun to just absolutely tear into them.
Well, it's just Paul. It's almost like he has this alert that goes off when it's like, this is a PR exercise, and it's
bullshit meter.
My chance to actually rip into this product. They're trying to get any publicity whatsoever.
Yeah. So I think we should say they're an absolutely abomination, Greggs sausage rolls.
Huh? Oh yeah, okay, God. How inbuilt is my love for Greggs that I even then, despite the fact we had 10 seconds earlier, we'd say we want to lay into them.
No one listening can tell this, but you genuinely, I've never seen you look at me like you wanted to fight me. But it's been a momentous year for Greggs. They've gone to 1 million sausage rolls. Do you know where else you can find a Greggs sausage roll in London? It's at a famous
is it
tourist spot.
Oh, I was going to say, isn't there a Greggs which is like the first thing you see when you arrive at one of the airports?
Oh, probably.
It's like you step out the arrivals gate and it's Greggs there.
Oh, that's depressing.
The altar of St. Paul's Cathedral. You lift up that big gold thing and there's like a couple of always
and the Archbishop of Canterbury comes out and says, give us our daily Greggs.
Greggs. Is a Greggs now one of the capsules in the London Eye? Is one whole capsule just a Greggs?
That'd be great. Imagine the fight to get in there. No, it's even worse than that. It's Madame Tussauds has added a wax Greggs sausage roll.
Yes, of course.
To their what they call their culture zone. The word culture doing a lot of heavy lifting there. I'll give you the blurb from it. It says individuals who've made a unique impact to the UK's cultural landscape. So you've got Churchill, you've got Princess Diana,
Rod Stewart,
Emmeline Pankhurst. No, not Rod Stewart, but I think that's
Emmeline Pankhurst alongside a Greggs sausage roll.
And then you've got a Greggs sausage roll.
Oh my God.
And then randomly you've got Kylian Mbappe, a French footballer who's never played football in England.
What?
So they're going to have to make cutbacks, Greggs. Lose the third G. Never understood it. Never understood it.
Yeah.
Finally, it's time for round 3, the missing words round. So I'm going to read out some headlines from the past week and you just need to fill in the missing words. First up, outrage after what left on grave of Karl Marx?
Copy of Animal Farm.
Nice.
What
Yeah.
weird flex to try and do.
A tribute to Groucho Marx?
I can imagine that happening.
Is it outrage after Karl Marx Halloween costume left on grave of Karl Marx? I think he'd have loved it.
It would freak me out. I'd feel like, has he just evaporated? You know?
Yeah.
No, the answer is, and Mike, you're not going to like this answer, outrage after La Boo Boo doll left on grave of Karl Marx.
My God.
My friend actually sent the picture. She happened to be on a tour of Highgate Cemetery and she sent me a picture and zoomed in. You can see the little La Boo Boo doll.
Is she the person who was outraged?
Maybe she was outraged, yeah. Mike, do you know what a La Boo Boo doll is?
No, and I don't need to. I support you knowing without any enthusiasm.
Okay.
No, go on.
It's collectible little cute plushies. They're made in China and they're cute little dolls that you attach to your bag and they're cute.
I support the outrage now.
Okay.
Not over them being left on Karl Marx's grave specifically, just that they exist and adults are buying them.
Okay, next missing word. Microsoft buys more than $1 billion worth of what?
Windows packages. They had to pay for their own.
Is it Microsoft buys more than $1 billion worth of butter for wayward cats?
Oh, so it's like a charitable effort.
Yeah. It's another one of the Gates Foundation's big drives.
The more people who know about it, the better.
No, the answer is Microsoft buys more than $1 billion worth of excrement. So you might think this might be a move similar to when Elon Musk bought Twitter, but no, they have bought actual human poo.
$1 billion worth?
$1 billion worth of poo.
Who's persuaded them to pay for that? Sure, they could have made their own.
No, basically they bought this excrement to pump underground to offset AI carbon emissions. So instead of compensating for the energy used up by AI processes, like taking out carbon dioxide from the air, instead they take the poo and put it 5,000 feet underground and it stops it being dumped at a waste disposal site so carbon won't go into the atmosphere. But I feel like pumping excrement into the ground is like the start of a terrible Godzilla movie.
I feel like this is like a Tom and Jerry style level sweeping under the carpet.
Right.
Like you just keep on pumping it down further.
Yeah.
It's like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
And then you get some kind of pukano happening at some point.
Chernobyl style meltdown.
Yeah.
And finally, US government to allow what to help pay off national debt?
The sale of Mount Rushmore on eBay.
They would never do that because Trump wants to add his head onto it, doesn't he?
Well, maybe he'd buy it off eBay.
Yeah.
Using government
Yeah.
money, so it wouldn't really work, would it?
Yeah.
Is it US government to allow sensible fiscal policies to help pay off national debt?
Oh, no way, Jack. Come off it.
I'm bloody mental, I am.
Or US government to allow people to pay $5 to come to the White House and kick Trump up the arse.
You're not far off, Mike.
What?
The beginning of that was correct.
Everyone can pay $5 to pay off the national debt.
Yes.
That's just taxes.
US government to allow people to pay $5 to enact medical experiments on Donald Trump Jr. to help pay off national debt.
Also, this has been happening for several years now.
You guys are going far too complicated. The
Okay.
answer is US government to allow the public to PayPal them to help pay off national debt.
No.
So this is the US Treasury Department expanding its gifts to reduce the public debt program. And now you can voluntarily give some extra money to them through Venmo and PayPal.
Wow.
And the national debt currently sits at 36.7 trillion. So
Yeah, a quick whip round.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
in 2022, Americans contributed about $180,000 in voluntary donations.
Who is doing that?
Well, it's not billionaires, is it?
No.
Yeah.
We posted this missing word round on our social media channels, and congratulations to Limerick345 on Twitter, who made us laugh with their response when they said US government to allow VPN sales to help pay off national debt.
Absolutely outrageous.
Follow Have I Got News For You on Instagram and Twitter so you can enter our missing word round when we post another one next Tuesday. And in case anyone is in doubt about where to send the money to help pay off this national debt, just get in touch with me, Mike and Jack after the show and we'll point you in the right direction.
We'll send you a PayPal link.
Yeah, and in exchange for your mother's maiden name and the last 3 digits on the back of your bank card.
Exactly.
Thank you for listening to In the News This Week. If you've enjoyed this episode, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
For updates on the show, make sure you're following Have I Got News For You on Instagram, TikTok and Twitter.
You can also get in touch with us by emailing podcasts@hattrick.com. That's hattrick with 2 T's.
Make sure you're followed or subscribed to the podcast wherever you're listening to it now, and we'll see you here for next week's episode.
Let's sign off in the guise of Macron and Trump. See you later.
Bye, Jack.
Bye.
In the News This Week is presented by Jack Harris, Queenie Miller, Emerald Paston and Mike Rayment. The producer is Diggory Waite. The executive producer is Claire Broughton. And the music is by Big George. In the News This Week is a Hat Trick podcast.